Everyone. This is a group of Ritesh, Naren, and Abhinas. We are presenting on real-time streaming and analytics using NLTK. This is for our final project for Harvard University Extension for Big Data Analytics. Abhinas is going to cover the introduction for our project.
Hi, so we have worked on NLP on Amazon customer review data. Our goal is to have a topic extraction of different reviews we are getting from Amazon's semantic sentence similarity, which will give us the similar sentence and find out the similar reviews. Top 10 books based on the reviews. The concept we used here is NLP data mining concept we have used. POS stacking, point of speech features,
Part of speech.
part of speech, bigram and unigram, JSON parsing. We are getting all the data based on the JSON format, tokenization, and singling, min hashing, locality sensitive hashing. Technology commonly we used here is Python, NLTK, Apache Spark, Metablot, lib for graphics purposes.
So all these things are in detail in further slides. And to see a big picture, what we are trying to solve with this project is we are trying to identify similar reviews from a data set provided provided from Amazon Reviews. And we'll be extracting features from these reviews, trending topics based on reviews text, and then identifying similar sentiments. We have used several algorithms to identify similar sentiments, and these are based on semantic similarity, and Naren will be explaining that in further slides. The problem that we are trying to solve here is many small pieces of one document can appear out of order in another, and this is too many documents to compare all pairs, and documents are so large or so many that they cannot fit in main memory. So we are using it with Spark, and we are doing it on our Cloudera VM. So the data set looks like this, and we have downloaded it from this particular location, and it's available for free download for educational purpose. Data is available in JSON format and looks something like this. Out of this, we are mostly interested in review text, which we are analyzing as part of our natural language processing. And then we are also using overall, which is kind of a rating between 1 to 5. And we use this number to run analytics on finding top 10 reviews based on their ratings. We are also using ASIN, which is identifier for a product. And we are using it to find features related in our similarity search. Now, topic extraction. To perform topic extraction, we are using the NLTK library. And from NLTK library, we are using the part of speech tagger. Once we receive the review data, from the review text, we are creating a POS. We are identifying the POS tagger for each of these review text. And then by tokenizing each of the statements and creating the bigrams and n-grams, we are able to identify topics by extracting just the noun phrases. There are several other things done in the code, which is part of the Python code, and we'll go through a demo after a few of the slides. And once these topic extractions are done, these are useful in summarizing a large set of text, and that was the objective we were trying to achieve with this. Now, the next step is finding similar reviews, and Naren will be taking care of this discussion.
Hi, my name is Naren. I'm going to cover the concepts that are being used for identifying reviews that are similar to the ones that we are receiving in real time. So the concepts here are inspired from the Stanford course mining massive datasets. So the core part of this concept is shingling. Shingling is where document or a review is converted into a set of strings of length k. So and after we convert the documents into a set of shingles, we go through a process called min hashing. So in min hashing, what's being done is we have 1,000 hash functions, and we hash these shingles with these hash functions, and then we find a short integer, a signature vector for each and every document. So what this actually does is it makes the size of the document uniform, and it also helps with the further processing, and it also helps with the reducing the dimensions of the document. And the last phase is the locality sensitive hashing. So here what we do is we again go through another round of hashing algorithms, and in this the difference between min hashing and here is we go through it in a band of rows and columns, and based upon the buckets in which the documents fall into, we actually group them together, and we use these algorithms to build a training index. So we have a training index. In this index we have a hash bucket, and for each hash bucket we have a similar documents in this hash bucket. So as and when we get a new um, as and when we get a new review, what we do is we pass this algorithm, we pass the review through these algorithms, and we compare it with the training index, and based upon the documents that are there in the training index that are grouped together for the similar hash bucket, we then do a Jaccard similarity on these documents and then actually identify the closest review possible with the incoming review.
Now we'll go through demonstrating how this entire system works on our Cloudera VM, and we'll also go through some of the code related stuff and explaining these steps. So to demonstrate that, I have two screens of my Cloudera VM here, and we have our Python code, and as we mentioned that we are using NLTK for topic extraction, and Spark is our main streaming engine, and as well as it contains all our training data sets as well. Now to demonstrate, our training data set is named as train data. We just downloaded a sample of training data from the Stanford location as mentioned in the PPT, and this has a lot of reviews. You can see it has 10,000 reviews that we have captured as part of our requirement, and reviews looks like, let me just show one of the review. So review looks like this. Now for this particular demo, we will copy this train data into our Hadoop cluster so that Spark can read and train our system. So I'm just gonna copy this train data to a user project location. Our Python program with Spark is using this location to read train data from there. So now the file is copied. The next step we'll do is we'll run our Python program using Spark submit, and this is what we learned in our class, and we have used it in our different assignments. Our Python program needs a OS argument which defines how many number of reviews we'll use in our training data sets. I'm just passing 100 for this demo. So once we pass 100, the next thing that this program does is it goes through our it first loads the training data set, and let me open the program in the meantime. So this is how our program looks like, and when our program starts, it starts from here where it loads the Spark context, and it sets all the log level, and then starts with the train data where we go through the train data location from Spark, and we use the SQL context from Spark. And I just need to do an exit here because seems like my display on this one is not working just because of some terminal issues. I'm just reconnecting again, and we'll rerun this. So in the meantime, let's go back to the code. What this program does is it goes through the train data and it runs a query, select review text async from Amazon reviews. So what we did is, using Spark SQL context, we are able to retrieve the data set, and we pass the argument vector from OS argument, and we use this to train our systems. Once the system is trained, and these are the algorithm which Naren will go in detail once this demo is done, is after we do this and our training is done, then all our training data set will be initialized. The next step that we do is we find top 10 reviews, which is happening over here, which generates a set of graph. Earlier the error was due to this because the graph needs a special display if we are logging through terminal. We get the top 10 reviews per product, and this is achieved by calling the function over here. Let me just go through that. So we call the top 10 product by reviews, which actually does the same SQL stuff on Spark data, where we are saying find the top product by their number of reviews and give me the top 10. And once we receive that, we use our matplot library and we display it as a graph. So that's how we are able to use Spark and find out the top 10 product with their reviews. Once the reviews are done, the next step it does is it just starts with Spark streaming, and this is where Spark streaming is happening, which is essentially running for, if you see the configuration, we are running it every 5 seconds, the streaming context for Spark, and it is expecting to stream data from text file stream using the user project location. So any files that will be copied into this location will be used for Spark streaming. And to demo that, we are I'm going to show you one of the file that we have kept. It's r1.txt, and it looks like this. So we will be copying this file into our Hadoop location. Once we copy this file to the location where Spark Stream is listening, then effectively our engine should pick it up and does the topic extraction. If you see over here, it perform the topic extraction, and you can see the extracted topic out of this particular review text is old granddaughter. So it has extracted the topic that this review talks about old granddaughter, and then it has used this it has gone through the second problem that we were trying to solve, is to find similarity on the following review. So this is the original review, and we found that these are the other reviews that it has identified from its training data set, and these are the Jaccard similarity score. And Naren, would you like to add more explanation on these? Code is here.
So the code for shingling is here. So as I mentioned earlier, so for training we go through a process of shingling. So in shingling, what we do is we are just taking a document and converting it into a set of shingles, and we pass a value for k, which can be varied, and we test it for different values of k to find the most appropriate ones, which give the most appropriate results for us. And then this is the min hashing code. In min hashing, what we are doing is we are actually going through a list of 1,000 hash functions. And for getting the hash functions, we have a function, and I is gives and we are going to the hash function is a simple mod function, and then we have a random list of 1,000 numbers, and that we use for I, and that we use for generating 1,000 hash functions, and we generate a list of like 1,000 length of 1,000 vector, 1,000 size vector. And this is the code that we use for locality sensitive hashing. And what we do here is we actually in locality sensitive hashing, it takes the, before I go to locality sensitive hashing, let me show you. Okay, so here in locality sensitive hashing, what we are doing is we are going through the matrix that was derived out of minimum min hash, and then we are going through that matrix in blocks of I think in blocks of here we have some parameters set for that, and in blocks of 10 by 5, I guess. And then we go through this this matrix, and then we find out we build an index. This index is built in LSH bucket, and this index is what we use for testing as well. So, and can you go
Yeah,
over the observations?
yeah, we don't have much time, but let's go quickly on the observation.
So the observation, what we found was we implemented the whole thing in Cloudera VM, which has Spark installation, and as the training data increases, the training time also increases, which is actually expected. We use the same training data and the test data, and just by increasing or decreasing the training data, we measured the testing time for different sizes of training data, how much of an impact the size of a training data has on the testing time. But we found that it's pretty consistent for different sizes of the different sizes of the training data. The only variable parameter here is the training data. That's it.
Okay, thank you very much, and we'll upload this video to YouTube. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks everyone.